Alright, so this is my Arcanist build for Scions of Athela. I am going to go over the skills first. Skills are Dizzy Swing, Camouflage Hunter, Inspired Scholarship. Camo is a flex spot. You could use the Arcanist Stun, you could use the AoE Dot. You can pretty much put anything you want here. I just like Camo Hunter. But yeah, our weapon damage buff. Rune Guard Freedom. This could be swapped out for Vigor, but I think it's superior. So it's not a flex spot to me. And the Flail or Execute. You can swap this out for Executioner, but once again, I prefer this. Dawnbreaker. You could use the Beam. I do sometimes. Really not much to say. This is our back bar alt. Now, if you run Sword and Board, you can use Sword and Board alt. Other than that, I don't know what else you would put back here. You could probably use one of the offensive alts or maybe this alt if you like it, but I wouldn't recommend swapping this out. It's just too good defensively. We have our armor buff. We have Evolving Rune Mend. You could also swap this out for Vigor, but I like this better once again. Race Against Time. Now, this is a flex spot. You could swap it out for the Portal, and you may see me do that here or there, but I actually prefer Race Against Time for now. Elemental Susceptibility. I like this. It fractures them. It gives us free dot damage. It's a free skill. Run it. And our ward. So it keeps us alive most of the time. Okay. We are an Imperial. I find this to be the best. It gives us sustain. It gives us survivability due to health. And cost reduction is a great passive. So I can't scream home enough. This is probably the best race. Some other options would probably be Orc or Dark Elf. Alright, we have all our points in the health because why not? We're easily able to sustain thanks to Imperial. And we don't need that high health pool because all of our damage is just not scaling off of that. We're actually scaling with weapon damage right now. We're running the Serpent, a little extra sustain, doesn't hurt, especially outnumbered. But you can run anything you want. Warrior, Lover, Lord for more health, anything. And stage 3 vamp. Getting into the champion points. So this isn't set in stone and I'm low CP, keep that in mind. So you can change this around how you like, but Exploiter, Ironclad, Resilience for the crit damage buff. This isn't really needed because of the shield, but I like it just in case the shield goes down and we get hit. And of course, Duelist rebuff. If anything, you could change around Exploiter for another damage CP, and you could change around Duelist rebuff for another damage CP. But I'm low CP, so Master at Arms is what I would replace this with when I'm at a higher CP. In this, we have Celerity for speed. I find this to be invaluable. If you don't like that, you could go with Shield Master. Bastion for our shields, especially when people are going to also be running Bastion and Shield Breaker, just tops us off. Pain's Refuge, great survivability, CP, and sustained by suffering. A little extra sustain, preferably on the magic side, but it works with stam as well. Green Tree's not important, but try to get these. Rationer, Liquid Efficiency. Moving along to the gear, finally, we're running Essence Thief, Sharp Maul. Just fine, it's a great set for damage, sustain, and healing. Well, not so much for healing, but you do get a little heal off of it. Running double dot poisons, I would run a stamina enchant glyph if I could, just to proc it, but Ice Staff of Potentates. Now I go back and forth between this and Bastrion's Ice Staff, but the dot on this really isn't that good, but I don't really have anything else to put back bar. We are running one Blood Spawn. This could be anything you want. One Balrog, one Blood Spawn, one crit damage, one some pen. We will run Magma when we get it because it's basically Blood Spawn but better, but I don't have the right traits set up for this build. I need a helmet. If somebody wants to help me run it, thanks. If not, it's cool. But our next set is Ravaging. This is great on this class, believe it or not. Crit chance is good because we're in heavy. The health is good because it helps our shields and our defensive off. The weapon damage is good. And this is always up. I do recommend double barring it because we have LE Drain. We have the armor buff that procs. So we always have full stacks of this. And if you really wanted to go crazy with it, you could use a armor reduction poisons or glyph. But we don't need it. This is always up and it gives us a lot of damage. So yeah, we're running double damage sets, believe it or not. No tank sets right now. I do have a tank set build, but you know, it's either rallying, pariah, or anything like. I mean, you guys know the only tank sets in the game technically. So, but this is what I run open world. Works great. It's when you see my weapon damage buff fluctuating. This thing fully procced, and with our glyphs and everything, the Arcanist passes were over 6k weapon damage. So add essence to that and any passives, and we're hitting hard as shit while being tanky because we are in 5 heavy. 5 heavy, as you can see, and 2 medium. You can adjust this how you want, but I like 1 medium, 1 light, but I definitely would recommend 5 heavy. This is when you're in those oh shit situations. You want a heavy attack. 2 heavy attacks, back bar with the staff gets you full magicka back. So keep that in mind. It's just too good to pass up for sustained passive. We are going all impen and all tri-stack glyphs on everything. Healthy necklace, I honestly didn't have the transmutes to change this, but now that I'm thinking about it, I like it. Weapon damage glyphs on the jewelry, and Death Dealer's Feet is our last set. It's going to give us more health, raw resources, more everything, so just too good to pass up. Other methods I recommend is the Markin or what is it? The dodge roll mythic. I actually don't know the name, but other than that, I wouldn't recommend another. You could go Slow Serpent's Coil if you want more damage, but I feel like damage is fine on this build. And yeah, this is how I have it set up. So keep that in mind. Go ahead and get out your hair. If you have any questions, leave them down below. This is a great build, and you can easily substitute out 2H for dual wield quite easily and get even more damage. With dual wield, spam rending instead of dizzy, but that's how I like it. My playstyle. You can also go wrecking blow if you're not a fan of that, and you could use this rune to CC people and get even more debuffs. But here's the thing: a lot of people that run builds like this, they go out there and they either 1v1 or they XV1 or group, which actually these skills are way better in group. My thing is, I'm always I 1vx and sometimes group, so wrecking blow, having an extensive rotation when you 1vx is not recommended. You just want to keep it super simple in Xing. You know, you don't want to be dropping runes and then, you know, hitting them with wrecking blow. Like, you have to go through, you have to debuff them with this, you have to buff up with this, you have to buff up with this, you have to put this up. You should put this up before you go into combat. You have to put this on. You should put this up before you go into combat, and this is optional. So you're going through all of that, and then you're going to, you know, what, CC them and go into wreck and blow spam. It's just simplification when you 1vx versus complication. So keep that in mind, but still dizzy and add one more skill. Stun you don't have to spam isn't really super complicated, but I like simplicity, so it is viable. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out your hair. It's my Arcanist build for Signs of Athela update 41. Y'all get up at me if y'all have any questions. Stay safe out there, and yeah, peace.